Dayton, Cheryl McHenry, News Center 7. Hard to believe we're not even in summer yet, based on the temperatures we've been having lately.
We're still spring, but it's the end of spring. Okay. Summer technically starts June 21st. We're just a day and a half away, if even that, really. Now, it starts on what's called the summer solstice, and that happens at 5:13 a.m. on June 21st. So what is this? I thought just June 21st was the first day of summer. What is all this stuff? Well, I'll tell you what happens on June 21st, specifically at 5:13 a.m. The Earth will be at its furthest tilt toward the sun, or you can think about it the other way. The sun's most direct rays will reach the northernmost point here on the Earth. That's at the Tropic of Cancer. And at that point, after 5:13, the Earth will begin tilting backwards, or at least the northern hemisphere will be tilting backwards, the southern hemisphere toward the sun. And so, even though from that point on our days will get shorter, we're still going to see that heat lag behind, and that's why July and August tend to be pretty warm. In fact, we're already in a little warming trend now. If you compare the temperature from now to this time yesterday, 11:19 p.m. last night, we're about 4 degrees warmer in Dayton anyway, 5 degrees warmer in Troy, so just a few degrees warmer. It's still relatively dry outside as far as humidity is concerned, so it feels pretty nice, but we will be heating up pretty rapidly as those winds shift and as this jet stream pushes east. Now let me talk about the jet stream. That's that fast-moving river of flowing air way up in the atmosphere, and as it bends and kinks, it controls our weather pattern. And so as it's dipping from Canada down into the Midwest, it's bringing a lot of that cooler, drier air. But that is going to be pushing off toward the east, and what we'll be left with is this upper ridge of high pressure, and that is going to trap some of that heat and keep it on top of us. It's kind of a heat bubble, not to mention areas of high pressure, air sinks, and as air sinks, it condenses, it heats up, so we're going to be hot again. Now, will we have as many 90-degree days, or will we see the heat index as high as last week? Well, it depends, but regardless, it's still going to be hot, with temperatures in the 90s across the Midwest, likely reaching the 100s as you head down into the deep south. So with that, we've got the humidity to take into account as well. See, the temperature outside right now in the 60s, it feels like the 60s because there's a lack of humidity. But we're going to see more humidity as we move into the middle part of the week. And right now, with temperatures expected to be in the 90s, you add the humidity, it's going to feel like 101 degrees on Wednesday at least. And the minimum criteria to issue a heat advisory, like we saw earlier in the week, is a heat index of 101. So if that's expected, I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least one more day this week where we see heat advisories across the region. In fact, we're already seeing them again up in a little bit farther west, getting closer toward Minnesota and Wisconsin. Right now, we're seeing a few clouds pass through, even a little bit of rain coming in from Michigan, and overall our forecast is expected to be fairly dry. The clear skies too will allow the temperature to drop into the 50s again. You can see a few passing clouds now, but certainly not overcast. And we'll continue to see mainly clear skies moving into the overnight hours. That heat will radiate out into space, temperatures dropping to the upper 50s again, not the low 50s like this morning where we reached 52 degrees, but as we move into tomorrow, I think we'll see temperatures in the upper 80s, likely avoiding the 90s until we get into Tuesday. That's when we're expected to get pretty hot. So let's take a look at, not Father's Day, not yet, that's a surprise. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 7-day forecast. High of 95 Tuesday, high of 95 Wednesday. Perhaps a couple isolated showers or a thunderstorm late Wednesday. That looks like to be the best day for some rainfall before temperatures cool down at least a little bit. Technically above average still, but at least the low 90s into Saturday and Sunday. Speaking of Father's Day, everyone here in the weekend crew, some of those faces you might recognize, like Molly or myself, and Brandon, but other people behind the scenes. I want to wish them, their fathers, and all of y'all a happy Father's Day as well.
Happy Father's Day, Dad, and to all of the dads out there.
This is an opportunity